everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. One of my favorite abstract games is Santorini. They just re-released this game last year with a beautiful second edition here, which is fantastic. And I think the second edition is fantastic. I think the first edition is great. This makes everything better. But they also released 4 kind of booster packs. The Seasons of Chaos, Soaring Over Olympus, Tales of Poseidon, and Hiding in the Underworld. Each of these comes with some more game modes. For example, one comes with the Golden Fleece that you can then fight over. There's a lot of game modes, but what makes these really interesting is they come with a bunch more gods. Now, Santorini has so much replayability in the base game as is. But if you want more, I'm going to show you not every god power, because that would take forever. I'm going to show you my favorites from each pack, and then we'll come back. First, we're going to take a look at Soaring Over Olympus. So now this comes with a card that shows you, hey, if you don't have a die, there's a way to use it. Although you're better off getting the new version of the game that comes with a die. But it has a lot of cool things. I love the pictures here with giants. There's harpies, which will force your opponents to move. There's all sorts of things, new gods in this one. I'm going to show you my favorites. So here we have God of the Winds. This comes with a wind token. And you're going to be able to turn the wind token. If you turn it over to the windy side here, see it's sunny and then windy, you can point it in any direction and nobody can move directly opposing that direction. A neat way to stop your opponent. God of the Winds. Like that one a lot. Here we've got the North Wind. You ice blast your neighboring space to the north, removing any opponent worker there from the game. So don't go next to these guys to the north. Very simple and vicious, but I like it. This guy Daedalus starts with a complete tower on their spot, and you can just build these off of here. And the dome could be put at any level. I like that one. This one comes with Talus. Hey, man. Talus and workers, you can relocate him to an unoccupied space next to one of your workers, and he's basically frozen. He's just a guy who's going to walk around and get in everyone else's path. Hermes, this is just speed here. If your workers don't go up or down, they can move as many times as you want, and then one of them must build. The fastest power in the game. And then the Griffiths, the Griffin, I like these guys because they go around busting domes. You can force them in a direction shown, and on the die, you have to roll a die, unfortunately. But other than that, you can blow up domes, which can help you win the game. So these are my favorites from this set. Next, we have Seasons of Chaos, which comes with some Hydras. There's a whole bunch of different gods here. These are more basic powers. The Hydra's a little bit more convoluted than the rest, but there's still a lot of fun things that this set can do. And here, like move an opponent worker who neighbors yours once per game. Pretty simple thing. My favorites from this set are as follows. Pandora. You get to roll the dice, and on your turn, everybody gets forced one direction. When you can, basically, it's like a wind that just blows everyone in one space. Here, the Hags, pretty basic here. You get 3 workers, and instead of building with a worker that you moved, you must build with one of your other workers. I just like that simplicity. Jason here can show up. Basically, you can put them on the outside of the board and then build. The Maenads here, if your worker neighbors opponent's worker on both sides, they lose the game. I love stuff like this, an alternate victory condition. That's why this is one of my favorites here. Prometheus here, if you don't move up a level, one of your workers can build, move, and build again. That's a pretty neat, I love like that extra thing. Here's another one once per game. You can remove any opponent workers who are neighboring them and are at least 2 levels higher. Your opponent knows you have that, so they're thinking carefully about how they do it. And then Urania, I just like her because she can essentially, your opponents can move off the corners of the board and kind of come on the other side, which is just a fun thing to do. Next, we have Hiding in the Underworld, which definitely is a hiding because this one comes with its own little mini map and a shield, and there are 4 god powers that have to do with that. And we have the spiders, while we're on top of that, which have little web tokens that you'll put on the board. And the spider, you go around and collect these. You're basically dropping these everywhere, and your opponent can't move out of them. Then you have the giant here who can move domes around. I love him. Tartarus is just a mean god here. He has the mini map. You put a spot on it, the abyss marker on it, and if your opponent enters there, they lose. which is going to make them really worried. I mean, anyone enters there, they lose, so they can go anywhere you went. Sisyphus here has to move the boulder around, but they can push the boulder into a level 3 and win it, which is fun. Nemesis here, you can swap a space with your opponents, which is really interesting. It's just pretty basic. Morpheus here has the dream tokens, which are the other side of the web tokens here, and he collects these dream tokens at the beginning of your turn and then can spend them to do a bunch of building at one time. Here, another mini map with the fate marker on it, and if your opponent wins and their last move is on this fate marker, you win instead. Hypnus here, so it's our turn. If your opponent's workers is higher than all their others, they can't move, which is really, really mean. Hades, your opponents can never move down. And Kronos wins if there are 4 complete towers on the board. He might be one of my favorite that exists. And these aren't the only ones in here. We also have Cerberus, Ectate, Charon, a couple more that use the map, Phobos. And finally, we have Tales of Poseidon. This one has, I think, probably maybe some of the weirdest powers that are included with the game. Still love all the different art in this game. The siren here can not move, and instead you're forcing your opponents. So my favorites from this one are Agamemnon, who gets 2 soldiers. Basically, you have 2 workers. You can't win with them, but hey, having extra people on the board doesn't hurt. I love alternate victory conditions. So if you have a 3x3 square with Enodia, which has domes and or workers in them, you win on the corners. Here, your workers can build 1 extra block on top of their first. I love that. Speed. Another alternate win condition. You win if each of your workers is a neighboring opponent worker at a higher level. Again, they know that you have this, which makes it interesting. And here, at the beginning of your turn, each neighbor touches their worker, and that's the worker they have to move with next turn. Pretty mean from Pythia. Now, again, I have this many different modes now that you can play the game in. But I almost always play 1v1, sometimes 3-player, but 1v1 just with all these guys' powers. And there's so many now. And I think I'm going to be able to fit it all into the base box. So that's pretty cool. Now, I don't expect everyone to buy all 4 of these. So which of these should you get? Well, which one is my favorite? My favorite is Hiding in the Underworld. It has the coolest powers to me, that little hiding in. The shield and that, I just really, really like that stuff a lot. I think the easiest one, oddly enough, is the Seasons of Chaos. If you're looking for some very easy to understand powers, this is the most basic one. If you were getting the first one, this would be the one that I recommend. And then after that, the Tales of Poseidon and Soaring Over Olympus, either one of those is fine, but the Underworld and Chaos, go figure, are the 2 that I would get first. I think they're all good. They all powers. And now I have a gazillion powers that I'm not going to ever get to play with all of them, but I get to play with a lot of them. So lots of new stuff. Are these all balanced? Haven't a clue. And on the back of each of them, they do mention you can't use some with the others. Obviously, if you're using one god with the map, you can't use another god with the map. Or if you're using the person with the spider tokens, you can't use the dream tokens. There's some gods that are incompatible, but for the most part, you can still play any god against any other god. And then you have all these new modes. You got Circe's Curse, and the Trojan War, and Manticore's Shadow, and Nyx's Veil. So there's just a lot more content here. I like it all. Santorini has moved up to a 9 for me. It's just a fantastic, absolute game. And these expansions, while not necessary, are definitely all 8s. You don't need them, but it's a lot more content that you're going to enjoy. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.